Hi YouTube! I have people tell me all the time that they're just so amazed about how well my son sleeps. So I thought I would share like what we do, you know, to maybe give some people some ideas about different ways to help their baby sleeps. I know my son, when he was an infant and, you know, when he got a little bit as like a early baby, he didn't have any kind of sleeping schedule. It was horrible. He would literally eat and sleep whenever. I mean, some people say, oh, my baby ate every 2 to 3 hours. And then, you know, they would sleep and they would say, oh, that was so horrible. I'm like, my baby would literally sleep and eat whenever. I mean, like 30 minutes, an hour, maybe 3 hours later, maybe 2 hours later, then it would be like 30 minutes later. I mean, it was literally all over the place. I'm like, there has to be some kind of like, you know, way to get him on like some kind of a schedule. I mean, even if it was just like every 2 hours or every 2 hours, then 1 hour. I mean, just something, right? I mean, when he was going down to those like 30-minute increments, I'm like, this is crazy. Like, I've got to figure this out. You know, I talked to lactation consultants to see if maybe I wasn't feeding him enough, you know, like everything, right? So here's what we do. I hope this helps some of you out there. So my son goes to sleep every night at 9 o'clock, and he sleeps 12 to 13 hours, and he wakes up one time during the night, and then has anywhere from like 1 to 2 naps a day. So this is like really amazing. He's about 4.5 months old, and he's been on this little schedule ever since he was about 2.5 months old. So this is how we did it with him. So it starts first thing in the morning, okay? So first thing in the morning, what I did was that his very first time he woke up when the sun was up, I would get him up, you know, out of the crib, get him dressed into new clothes, turn on all the lights, and play with him, okay, to let him know that it's time to wake up, right? It's time to wake up. We would play songs, you know, just play, right? So then he would go down for his first nap. Okay, so then, you know, we would just go about a regular day until nighttime came around. So when nighttime comes around, we would start the bath at 8 o'clock. I would do a bath every single night. And the bath kind of changed from night to night. It wasn't always the same, right? I'm not always like scrubbing him down and cleaning him really thoroughly. I am always putting him in the bathtub, you know, a warm bath. I always put a warm cloth over his chest, you know, with the bath water. And then I always put baking soda in the bathtub just because it helps with preventing diaper rash and helping his skin to stay soft, everything like that. I don't always wash his hair every single day because, you know, it's not good to wash anybody's hair every single day. But it's just something to just help him relax. I always put music on for him. Every time he took a bath, you know, the same, I think I do like Pandora baby radio or sometimes classical music, just whatever he just kind of seemed to enjoy. And then I just talked to him about sorry, there was a fly there, about his day, you know, and just kind of hang out with him, right? And then I would always just kind of watch him to see when he was starting to get tired, you know. So as soon as he did that little yawn, or if he didn't do that little yawn, I'd only keep him there maybe like 5, 10, maybe 15 minutes max, right? Like not for very long. I would take him out of the bath, get him all comfy. I would always have all his stuff ready to go, like his clothes, his new diaper. I always bundle him at nighttime with a sleeper sack. I'd have all that ready to go before we took a bath. So then I would get him dressed back into his pajamas for the night. Now, of course, it was always, you know, a clean, fresh pair of pajamas. Then I would nurse him. I would nurse him, you know, I nurse him every single night. If you can't nurse your baby, or, you know, you don't want to for whatever reason, I would definitely give him, you know, if you're giving him the bottle, I would definitely give him a warm bottle. That way, you know, he's just like feels all snug and comfy, and, you know, just cuddle your little one, and you talk, you know, just talk to him in a soft voice. I always did that with the lights low, so they understand, okay, it's time to go to sleep now. I would always start nursing him at 8:30 because I wanted to nurse him from 8:30 to 9, so he would go to sleep at 9 o'clock. let's see here. So then I would put him in his little sleeper sack. I really like the Halo brand. That worked out really well for us because you can bundle up their arms. When you bundle up their feet and their arms, it makes it harder for them to like jerk around, and that's one thing that wakes up a baby is those jerking motions. So I loved that when he was an infant and a smaller baby. My son, however, started rolling over at about 2 months, like randomly, and then at 3 months he was consistently rolling over and starting to scoot places. So I couldn't bundle him up for very long, but I did as long as we could. And then we still put him in a sleeper sack. We just don't bundle up his arms. That way he's nice and like warm and comfy, and I always put him in long sleeves. And then I always make sure his tummy is full. Okay, so if I think a lot of parents do that. They have they try to put their kid to sleep before their little tummies are full, and I see a lot of my friends do that, and I always point that out to them that I don't think he's full. I don't think she's full, because they seem to be like wide awake. And most babies, if you just feed them till their tummy's full, they want to fall asleep anyway. So I know that's definitely true with my son. If he isn't completely full, then he'll just stay awake, or he'll cry, he'll get upset, sometimes babies don't fall asleep because they need to be burped. It seems like kind of like a duh thing, but they may not cry. They may just kind of sit there and like be uncomfortable, and they may just not want to fall asleep. Or maybe because they have gas. I know that was a big problem with us at the beginning. He had gas, and I think I was just so sleep deprived, I didn't even realize he had gas till a friend of mine said something to me. I think he's got gas, and then I gave him gripe water, and oh my gosh, gripe water is still one of my best friends. And I think my son's best friend too. Gripe water is so amazing. But yeah, so then another trick that I saw online was when they are sleeping throughout the night, don't change their diaper. Sorry about that, my dog was barking at the neighbor. So I saw something online about when you change your diaper, it wakes them up, so don't change your diaper. And I thought, oh my gosh, I wonder if that's happening to my son because we use cloth diapering. And even though we have the cloth diapers where they have the fleece on them, so it should be like wicking away, I thought, oh, maybe it's not. So I bought the up to 12-hour overnight disposable diapers just to see if maybe that would work better, and it really didn't even make a difference. Not for him anyway. So trial and error, right? But so I switched him like back to cloth, but I did remember that, right? Like if he has a poo, I always change him. But if it's a potty and you can't really tell that he pottied in there because maybe it was so little, then I don't change him every single time I feed him at night. Just because, one, it's not touching his skin. His skin's dry. And two, it's going to wake him up. So I figure it's probably more harmful for me to wake him up to change him than to just leave it. So that's a trick that has worked really well for us also. So I think that's all. I think that's everything. So I hope this has helped you guys. Have a great day. Bye.